Hi, it's Trevor, your Pride Fairy, and this is Discovering Gay History. Today is for Ryan White. Here we go. Ryan White was born on December 6th, 1971. At a very young age, Ryan was diagnosed as a hemophiliac, which is a person when they are injured or cut, they bleed more profusely than typical, and it can cause severe blood loss and can result in death. So it's a pretty serious disease. So because of this blood disease, Ryan had to have weekly blood transfusions. And after a blood transfusion in 1984, and after some tests that followed that blood transfusion, Ryan was diagnosed with AIDS. It was an unfortunate thing that happened, that the blood that was used in the transfusion was infected with the HIV virus. And with this diagnosis, doctors gave him only 6 months to live. But Ryan ended up living many years after that. In fact, he was starting to feel a lot better and insisted that he was ready to go back to school. So he asked his mom to re-enroll him into school, and that's where Ryan's story really takes off. The school and the parents and other students, because of the ignorance and fear around AIDS at that time, were really pushing to not allow Ryan to come back, and he met a lot of ignorance. So despite being back in school and trying to focus on his studies, the school board got enough pressure that they did remove Ryan from classes. But the Indiana Supreme Court ruled in Ryan's favor and said that the school had to follow the Indiana Board of Health guidelines and allow White to re-enroll. Unfortunately, the abuse to Ryan continued. A large group of families pulled their children from school and sent them to an alternative school. There were lawsuits, there was bullying, there were threats at Ryan's home. And people would often yell at Ryan, saying that they knew he was queer because AIDS was widely associated with gay men at that time. The school made him use disposable utensils and eat separately, use a separate bathroom, did not allow him to enroll in gym. And the final straw was when a bullet went through the White's home. No one was home at the time, thank God, but that's when the family decided it was best for them to move. In August of 1986, Ryan arrived at his new school. He was greeted by the principal and a small group of other students who had been more educated in the AIDS virus, and they greeted him with handshakes and embraces to let him know that he was welcome there. He really went on with his life after that. He even went to prom, and he got a summer job, and he continued to go to class. The unexpected thing to Ryan was that he sort of became this poster child and a face for the AIDS crisis. He appeared on talk shows, the Phil Donahue Show. He made public appearances, he was in commercials, and he had this adorable meet and greet with Alyssa Milano, who he had a crush on at the time, to educate the public about the AIDS crisis and that it wasn't this wild infectious disease. And sadly, by early 1990s, Ryan's health really took a turn for the worse. His last public appearance was at an Oscar after party, actually, with President Ronald Reagan and his wife, Nancy, who famously avoided addressing the AIDS crisis. And on March 29th, 1990, Ryan entered the hospital with a respiratory tract infection. And as his health continued to deteriorate, he was put on a ventilator. He was visited at the hospital by many celebrities, including Elton John. And at the age of 18, on April 9th, 1990, Ryan passed away. 1,500 people attended Ryan's funeral. Many famous people attended the funeral service. Michael Jackson, Barbara Bush, and even Donald Trump. In 1992, Ryan White's mother founded the Ryan White Foundation. This foundation focused on HIV/AIDS complications, especially pertaining to hemophiliacs, and helped spread awareness and education about the virus. And probably most famously, in 1990, Congress passed the Ryan White CARE Act. This is the largest federally funded program for HIV care and education. The funds from this program work to improve care for uninsured, underinsured, or low-income people and their families suffering from AIDS. All right, that does it. We'll see you next time on Discovering Gay History. Bye.